video. Hello everybody and welcome to the 21st video on the channel. We are past the first 20 videos, another milestone. And let's get right into it. One more big favor. Please make sure to like and subscribe, turn on that notification bells, and if you have any questions or anything good to say or any improvements to the channel, please make sure to mention them in the comments. They'll be highly appreciated. Without further ado, let's go on to our answers to our previous questions. For our first question, we have f plus g of x is our answer. Alright, for our second question, our answer is 15. For our third question, our answer is fg of x. And our fourth question, the answer is 6. Let's go on to the lesson. Today's lesson is about the composition of function. What I mean by this is that we put one function inside of another. If you look at the first equation, which I'm underlining right now, fg of x is equal to f of g of x. So, what I mean is, let's say I have a function g of x. If I have a function g of x, and then I'm like, okay, so what if g of x is, let's say it's x squared, and let's say I have a function f of x, and this is equal to x plus 3. So, what f of g of x means is that instead of x, we're going to be substituting g of x, which is x squared. So this would be equal to x squared plus 3. That's essentially how it works. The right side of that equation is just notation. F of g of x, where you put an open circle, a non-filled circle or an open circle, and you put the two things in between. Keep in mind that according to the second equation, it's not equal to g of f of x. That's the opposite. That's g, f, and then x, not f, g, and then x. So f of g of x, but that's not equal to g of f of x. And one more thing before we go on to the examples. If we have multiple functions like f of g of h of x, we would just put them in the order starting from left to right or outside to inside. So outside would go on the left like f, so f would be first, and then we would have g and then h with this open circle separating them to show that it's g of h of x, and it's f of g of h of x. Another notation that you could use, although it really depends on what you really feel like. I personally like the second one a little bit more. F of g of h of x. So you just do this as part of the other notation and leave f of x as it is. And you leave f as it is. Let's go on to the examples. Alright, we have 3 examples for today. Our first example is g of f of x. And this one, we want to change our notation from this to the open circle notation, as I like to call it. Quite funny, hopefully. You didn't laugh? Oh, it's fine. So, if we have g of f of x, we'll have g, open circle, f of x. This is how it works. And if you remember the formulas from above, it should be pretty easy for you, because this is just more of a memory question. Number 2. F of g of 2, where f of x is equal to x plus 3 and g of x is equal to x cubed. So basically what we want to know is f of g of 2, so you substitute g of x 2 and then f of x in that. So I'll just show you how it's done. Alright, we can start with turning this back into this notation, which is f of g of 2. So if we evaluate g of 2 first, 2 cubed is 8. So this becomes f of 8. After that, what we have to do is we have to substitute this into f of x. So that's 8 plus 3, which is equal to 11. That's our answer. For our third and final question, what we gotta do is, again, it's the same thing, except we just have one more function. So, if we start with, alright, we have to do f of g of h of 1. Boom, 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 boom. That's basically it. What we gotta do is we gotta start with h of 1, then go outwards and outwards again. So a general rule of thumb, as we can see here, is start from the inside and go outwards when we're evaluating this type of function. So if we start with h of 1, h is equal to 2 to the power of x. So that's equal to f of g of 2. And then g of 2 is 3 to the power of x. So 3 squared is 9. So this is f of 9. F of x is e to the power of x. So what we have is e to the power of 9. And that's our answer. Alright, for today, we have 3 practice problems. Number 1, f of g of 3, where f of x is equal to x squared and g of x is equal to 2x. G of f of 1 is our second example, where g of x is 2 to the x and f of x is x plus 3. Our third example is we want to change the notation from h of g of f of x to the open circle notation. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.